Dear friends, happy to meet you once again through this video. In the YouTube series of foreign travelers to South India, I am presenting about the envoy of Sultan Shah Rukh of Samarkand, Abd al-Razak al-Samarkandi, a Persian historian who visited India during 1442 to 45 in the mid-15th century. This video will give description of taming of elephants during the period of Vijayanagara Empire, elephants and mode of catching them. Opposite the minister's office are the elephant sheds. The king has many elephants in the country, but the large ones are specially reserved for the palace. Between the first and the second enceinte of the city, and between the northern and the western faces, the breeding of elephants takes place, and it is there the young ones are produced. The king has a white elephant, exceedingly large, with here and there as many as 30 spots of color. Every morning, this animal is brought into the presence of the monarch, for to cast eye upon him in thought a favorable omen. The palace elephants are fed on hichu, which after being cooked is turned out from the cauldron before the elephant, and after being sprinkled with salt and moist sugar is made into a mass, and then balls of about 2 mans each are dipped in butter and then placed by the keepers in the mouths of the animals. If any of these ingredients is forgotten, the elephant is ready to kill his keeper, and the king also severely punishes his negligence. They are fed twice a day in this way. Each has a separate stall. The walls are very strong and high and are covered with strong wood. The chains on the necks and backs of the elephants are firmly attached to the beams above. If the chains were bound any other way, the elephants would easily detach themselves. Chains are also bound upon the forelegs. The manner in which they catch elephants is this. They dig a pit in the way by which the animal usually goes to drink, which they cover over lightly. When an elephant falls into it, no man is allowed to go near the animal for 2 or 3 days. At the end of that period, a man comes up and strikes him several hard blows with a mace, when suddenly another man appears who drives off the striker and seizing the mace throws it away. He then retires, after placing some forage before the elephant. This practice is repeated for several days. The first lays on the blows and the second drives him away, until the animal begins to have a liking for his protector, who by degrees approaches the animal and places before it the fruits which elephants are partial to, and scratches and rubs the animal, until by this kind of treatment he becomes tame and submits his neck to the chain. They tell the following story of an elephant that fled from his bondage and absconded to the deserts and the jungles. His keeper, in pursuit of him, dug pits in the paths which he was likely to frequent. The elephant, apprehensive of his artifices, seizing a club and holding it like a staff in his trunk, kept feeling and sounding the earth with great caution as he advanced, and so arrived at the drinking ford. The elephant drivers despaired of taking him. But as the king was very anxious to have him caught, one of the keepers mounted a tree under which the elephant was likely to go, and there lay hid till at the moment of his passing underneath, he threw himself down on the back of the animal, and seizing the strong cord which they strap over the back and chest of those animals, and which had not yet been detached, he held it fast within his grasp. In spite of all the turnings and motions which the elephant made to escape, and in spite of his lashing with his trunk, it was all to no avail. When he began rolling upon his side, the keeper leapt upon the flank which remained uppermost, and meanwhile struck the animal several sharp blows upon the head, so that, being at last exhausted, the beast gave in and submitted his body to the bonds and his neck to the fetters. The keeper brought the elephant into the presence of the king, who bestowed a handsome reward upon him. The kings of Hindustan go out hunting elephants and remain a month or more in the jungles, and when they capture elephants, they rejoice at their success. Sometimes they order criminals to be cast down before the feet of an elephant that they may be killed by its knees, trunk, and tusks. Merchants carry elephants from Ceylon to different countries and sell them according to their height, so much more being demanded for each additional yard. I stop here for now. Taming of elephant during the years of 1442 to 45 was described by Razak this way. I have many more interesting facts told by Razak. I am presenting the content from the book named The History of India as told by its own historians, the Mohammedan period, from the posthumous papers of Sir H.M. Eliot, edited and continued by Professor John Dawson, published in London in 1872. We'll meet you soon with another video and last one about the betel leaf as told by the Persian traveler Razak. Until then, thanks with wishes.